Hey everybody, it's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. Welcome to my channel and my video today. Today's video, it's all about the Cunard line. The Cunard line, which has a long, rich history from the 1800s. The line is now owned by Carnival, and there are three ships in the cruise line. We have the Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mary II, and the Queen Victoria. This morning, the cruise line came out with a major announcement. They have effectively shut down the line quite a ways. This being today, August the 25th, 2020, we are talking about the first possible sailing for one of the Cunard ships, the Queen Elizabeth, March the 25th, 2021. So we're talking about 7 months from now for the first of the three ships to come back. The Queen Mary, they're talking about April the 18th, 2021. And the Queen Victoria, May the 16th, 2021. And in addition to the delays, the other news that came out today regarding, just in the case of the Queen Elizabeth, they have canceled all of her scheduled itineraries for next year. All of 2021's proposed itinerary is out the window. They're going to reposition the ship and put together completely different sailings for the vessel once they restart cruising. So this is a major change. In the case of the Queen Mary II, you see right here, this ship has lost its round the world cruise for 2021. So the next round the world voyage that will be available on this vessel is now scheduled for 2022. And we'll just have to see if that actually happens or not. It has been such a dramatic year for all the cruise lines, beginning this past March when cruise lines began their voluntary shutdown. But now we're finding it certain individual lines are bringing out their own announcements and their own cancellations and their restart dates, and on it goes. So we've got here a major disruption, let's say, of cruising going forward for quite some time on this Carnival-owned cruise line. But folks, do not be surprised when the others just basically start following suit, because this is not just this is not going to be just a Cunard issue. Unfortunately, sailing to Australia this year is out the door. There'll be no sailings to Australia for Cunard this year. The three ships are going to be kept very close to home. They're going to be kept very near the UK. It looks like they're going to, there's a consideration for, I believe it's the, is it the Queen Elizabeth? I think she's looking to use Barcelona as her home port again next year in 2021, where the Queen Mary II and the Queen Victoria will likely be very close to the home port of Southampton. So images like this right here, with a whole bunch of ships welcoming in the Cunard ships whenever they come to Australia, it just are not going to happen this year at all. The Barcelona situation is up in the air as far as I'm concerned, because as I speak to you today, Spain has not announced when they will allow cruise ships to resail in and out of Spanish ports. That still is a complete unknown at this point. The kind of cruising that Cunard is talking about is they're indicating that they're looking at 2 to 3 night quick getaway cruises to perhaps Amsterdam and back. They're looking to sail towards Sweden, Norway, the British Isles. They're going to kind of keep the ships really close to home. We're not looking at any transatlantic cruising for the Queen Mary II until at least April of next year, and that might not be a certainty. Images like this here in Japan just not going to happen. We're just not going to have these ships circumvent the globe that we're so used to talking about Cunard going to the most exotic places on the planet, furthest away from the UK you can imagine. And unfortunately, images like this of Mount Fuji will not be experienced this year by Cunard cruise ship travelers. In other news regarding Cunard's future, there's been reports coming out now here in Canada the last couple of days that more and more likely that the shutdown of Canadian ports is going to be extended past this year, and it might include all of next year. And so images of cruise ships being in Alaska are possibly not going to be allowed, or just not going to happen for another whole season. We might lose the entire 2021 Alaska cruise season on top of the 2020 cruise season we've already lost, and this is just going to create complete havoc and mega economic disruption, because this past year a lot of businesses were hanging on because they were getting government assistance to weather the downturn, and hopefully they'd be back up and running later this year sometime. But now with Victoria's harbor master being quoted as saying that he is not sure that there'll be any cruise ships allowed into the port of Victoria for all of 2021. You can double that for the port of Vancouver. And without West Coast Canadian ports being made available, Cunard and all the other cruise lines will not be able to visit Alaska at all. Whether the cruise ship starts its cruise in Seattle or in Vancouver, it doesn't matter. You have to have in the case of a sailing to Alaska, a cruise ship has to stop in a second country other than the U.S. So you cannot go from Seattle to Anchorage, Juneau, back. You have to stop in Canada on the way up or on the way back. And with Canadian ports being rumored to be shut down, these scenes here are just not going to be made available to cruisers, no matter what cruise line you sail on. So it's a sad story, but it's reality, and it is spreading. As I say, the Cunard line, March 25th for the Queen Elizabeth, April 18th and May 16th for the Queen Mary and Queen Victoria. No sailings whatsoever now for between 7 months to 9 months from now. Nothing from Cunard. All sailings canceled. Everyone's getting a refund or a cruise credit. And now we have to wait to see what happens after March, April, and May of next year, how this all plays out. And another sign that this virus is winning and cruise lines are losing. So there you have it, folks. We'll stay on top of this never-ending story. And I thank you again for subscribing to my channel, Traveling with Bruce, giving my videos thumbs ups. Love getting your comments. Anything you hear out there, let me know. And again, we'll talk to all of you next time. Thanks again for joining me today. Bye for now.